Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today we are going to be going through the Hobonichi weeks and we are going to look at how I plan to use it, which may morph and change throughout the year. I have never used a Hobonichi before. If you follow me, you know that recently, back in December, I did a video about the Hobonichi cousin that I was gifted from one of my sweet, generous subscribers. I had several people asking me to do reviews on that one, and I am just to the point that I cannot buy any planners with my money, with my own money, um, unless it's something that I really know I am going to use. And I just didn't know much about it and didn't think that it's something that I would use directly in my daily planning. So I never had reached out and bought one. But anyway, one of my subscribers had one that she was not going to use, and she was so sweet to gift it to me and to mail it to me and wouldn't even let me reimburse her for shipping costs or send her anything in return. So there are such generous, nice people out there. But from having that Hobonichi in my hands, and I do think I'm going to use the daily parts of the Hobonichi cousin for journaling. We will see what that morphs into, and I will keep you guys updated. And I started researching a ton about Hobonichis because I didn't know very much at all. And that I found the Hobonichi weeks. And it looked like something that maybe I would utilize. So I got mine off Amazon, but it's actually a little bit cheaper off JetPens if you buy at least $25 worth, which this is like 22 on there. So if you throw a couple pens in, then they give you free shipping. I just paid a couple dollars more because I wanted it really quick, and I just didn't want to have to add anything else to my order at that point. Basically, I didn't want to wait. But anyway, so let's go through the Hobonichi weeks and then how I'm going to use it. It is a very, very slim book. It has weekly views of your entire year, and then it has note pages at the back. It has 2 bookmarks, so you can mark your week and you can mark your month. I'm sorry, I did not mention it also has a monthly view. This cover has kind of like a linen material feel to it. It's nice. Hopefully it won't get stained if I throw it in my purse a lot or something. I love how the 2018 is on there. I almost got a really bold color, but I just decided to go with this understated one. And I love how the 2018 is also on the spine for archiving. So I really like that. I like how the Hobonichi is letterpressed in there, stamped in the back. It's just, it has a really nice classic, classy, like look and feel to it. And it's tiny, you guys. So people say it's wallet size. It really is the size of the big long wallets that lots of people used to carry when they carried around their checkbooks with them everywhere. So it really is that size. Like this shows it in my hand right here. And it's small. It's really small and really light. Now, even though this looks like a hard bound cover, it's just a thick cardboard to me, and it is still flexible. If I wanted to bend it in half, like take this cover right here and crease it, I could. So that's some information on the cover for you. It is about 7.5 inches long and 3.5 inches across. So if you're wanting to know the exact dimensions, when you open it up, that's just a sticky note I stuck in there so I could grab one real quick. I like to have those ready. But it has hobo written a whole bunch of times in the end pages right there. And that's in the front and the back end pages. Okay, so then you have your cover page, Hobonichi Techo, I think I'm saying that right now, 2018, but please forgive me if I'm not, weeks. Then it has this version. This does not come in an English version, so this is a Japanese version. It has 2018 year at a glance, but then it also has 2017 year at a glance and 2019 year at a glance. Now, here is something to note. Their monthlies as well as their weeklies start on Monday. So that's something I really have to get used to in the monthly view. I'm used to my weekly views starting on a Monday. That works good for me, but my monthly views, my brain is so Sunday start that I really have to focus in and remember, especially because there are no, American symbols here. So it's the Japanese symbols for the week. So I have to remember that is Monday and not Sunday. That's just something to note. Then this is your entire year right here. This is really cool. I don't know that I would use this, but I love that it's all here. So you have your entire year. You could note something big every month, and then you have every single day for that month below it. So you could keep track of habits here, or you could note, big events or appointments. I'm trying to think of other things that you could use it for. Nothing has come to mind for me to use it for, but I love how you see every single day of the year right here in one scope. So if you were tracking like one habit every single day of the year, and let's say you were going to color in a square if you worked out that day, I'm just pulling that out of the sky. You can look over your whole year at the end of the year and see how many days that year did you work out or go to the gym. You would see, like in one glance, the entire year. Or you could be working on a different habit every month. Label what the habit is up here, and then you have your month for that habit, and you can see what you've worked on every month. So I love it as a habit tracker like that, and for a whole year at a glance like that. I love that. Now, they do give you the month of December, but they don't give you any weeks in December. So first up front are all your months. These are mild liners from Amazon. They work great in here. If you don't know what mild liners are, they are just a highlighter that is not so bright fluorescent. They have mild colors, hence the name mild liners. Then you have a little note section down the side here, and then you have a bigger note section at the bottom with some tick boxes if you choose to utilize those 4 tick boxes right there. So you'll notice though, this is labeled. They don't have just a specific American version, but this is labeled in our days of the week right here. So I do like that. Since I mentioned that I have a hard time with a Monday start on a monthly calendar, I really like that reminder that it is a Monday. So I also love that there are moon phases. Just seeing how highlighting a day looked, seeing how highlighting something looked. I was playing around with it. As in the cousin, all your Saturdays are blue, kind of a light blue gray, and all your Sundays are red, and then Japanese holidays are also in a red. I actually love how they write in there on Japanese, I'm guessing what the holiday is. I actually love that. I would love an American calendar that did that. I really wish a company would do similar to what the Hobonichi does, but for US, because I really like lots of things like that, but I have no idea what it says. So then you start into January. Your ribbons are very, very thin because it's the tiny book. That's just something to note. I've had a hard time like keeping mine down in place because they seem so thin and have no weight. The month is always noted with the number right up here, but then you do have January written right there. Then you have weeks noted right here. Week 1, week 2 of the year, week 3, and so on. And I really love that. If you have followed me and heard in other videos, I love when they note what week of the year it is. I like that. So Japanese holidays, once again, are read and noted with the Japanese characters, but of course you can write right over that. If you use any of the Hobonichis, it has the Tome River paper. If you're not familiar with that, I've done a lot more research on it now since my last Hobonichi video, which I knew nothing on when I reviewed the cousin. This paper is really amazing because it is so thin, and that is why you can fit so much in one book, and it will not be heavy, and it will not be cumbersome, and it will not be thick. It's amazing paper that is tough, yet does not bleed through. It does not bleed fountain pens. It does not bleed watercolors. It does not bleed these mild liners. It does not bleed, but it does ghost. It ghosts quite a lot more than like a Leuchtturm 1917, a lot more. So you have to be okay with that if you are using a planner like this, any of the Hobonichis. Another thing I like about the paper is it's really easy to flip through, even one page at a time, and you're not ruining the pages by like grabbing it that way. I compare the feel of it, if you have not felt a Hobonichi, to some like Bible pages. I know every Bible is made different, so not exactly the same, but similar. I've come to love this paper and kind of get over the ghosting for what I'm using it for. Okay, so I have just written in some monthly events here. I'm just trying to see if there was anything else on the page I wanted to point out to you. I think we've gone over everything for the monthly views. So then it just goes through your months of the year, okay? And I've already written in quite a bit. So, but we're going to go all the way to the end of the year, and they actually give you into January of 2019, February of 2019, and March of 2019. They give you 3 monthlies into 2019 for that planning ahead, looking ahead, and I love that. I love that because 3 pages of this thin paper does not take up much room. Okay, I was wrong, you guys. I completely forgot. I thought in the weeks that it did not start until January 1. Maybe I didn't say that earlier. I don't remember what I said earlier, but your monthly view starts in December of 2017. Your weekly view starts at the very end of November 2017, so basically going into the first week of December. So they give you the December in weeks too. I'm sorry, I forgot that. So let's go over what these weeks look like, and this is mainly what I bought it for. And then I'll tell you how I'm going to use it. But let's just go over like what a week looks like here before we get into how I'm going to use it. So I'm just going into a week in February because I haven't written there yet. You have your week Monday through Sunday laid out on the left side of the page, and then you have a blank gridded graph paper on the right side of the page. That is the basic premise for this. So I'm going to show you all the details on the page. Now, at the top, you have your month 2, and so that's just the second month of the year, February 2018, and they tell you it's the 6th week of the year. You guys know I love that. I love it even more that they put it on the week than the month, because I don't use month views as much in my planners because I have a big inkwell press desk pad on the wall right above my kitchen desk, and that's kind of like my monthly view that rules everything, and then I copy from that monthly view into my weekly planners. So I'm not always good at keeping up with the monthly and my weekly planners. But I love that they have the week on there, what week of the year you're in. And they even have the moon phases. So then they have your day of the week. You know, it's February the 5th, and it's Monday. And so it goes through Sunday, which is always red. And they also have these dots, which you can divide your page, if you want to, into 3 sections using those little magic dots to guide you. Kind of like the inkwell dots, except these show up a little bit more. Now at the bottom, they do have a Japanese quote, which I wish wasn't there and it was just blank for notes personally, but that's fine. And I love how they show you the month that you're in, and then they circle the week that you're in. So this is the month of February, and they circle the week that this planner page is showing. And you do have a tiny area there for a few little notes. Their gridded page here is divided right here by a darker line for like a margin down. So if you have a darker line, if you wanted to use this margin for something, if you wanted to divide it off by day, like you're going to carry over your day to here, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for something like that, then you do have a margin. You can divide it. But if you don't need your margin, then you just write like notes. This reminds you you're in the second month. I don't know. I love a lot about it. So that's your weekly pages. It just goes through every week of the year like that. You're in your 5th month here, and you can see the months on the side tabs to be able to find them. You go through every month of the year, and I think they do take you into January with your weeks. Let's see, before you go into the notes pages. No, they just take you in your weeks through the very end of December, which kind of goes into the first week of January, and that's it. Then your notes pages, and then they have some Japanese stuff, and then they have note, and this is your index for your notes pages. So page 4, what am I writing about? Page 6. So your pages back here start over, they're labeled. Well, I mean, the other pages don't have page numbers. So you're starting page 1 with your notes. And I really like that touch that they put the page numbers in there. And so you can note what page certain notes are and separate them. Now, there's a lot of notes pages. I'm sorry I did not look up how many, but these are thin. So there is a lot, you guys. You could use it for grocery lists. You could use it for keeping track of important things. You could use it for just to-do lists, like kind of like my ongoing to-do lists that are bigger things that will probably take me a couple months to get done just because I want to keep them on my mind. And when you come to the very back of your notes pages, then you have my 100. So it could be, it says title. I'm guessing they mean 100 books that you've read that year. But so you could list books you've read that year. You could list movies you've watched that year. Then you have some Japanese writing on pages, some exercise, Japanese writing, and a lot of Japanese. And then you have some Japanese age charts and some other stuff that I don't know what it is. Then I just did some pen testing here, and this is where you're supposed to write in addresses or contact information if you want to. And that is the end. And then your Hobonichi has a number given to it, like with a little stamp and a thicker cardstock page at the back. So that's it. But there was something else I was going to mention. But I lost it. My train of thought. Oh, pens. That's what I was going to mention. And I was going to tell you how I use it. So what pens work best in here? Well, if you want it to look neat, a thinner pen works best. So the only .38 pens I have right now are Muji pens. They're not my favorite because of the comfort of holding them in my hand. I'm probably going to be buying some like .38 pens that are more comfortable in my hand. But like my sister just got some Signo, I think. Yeah. .38 pens, which feel much better in your hand. I just haven't done my research and picked out any yet. But the thinner the pen, you know, the neater you can make it look. But you guys know, if you follow me, that, yeah, I am not that neat when I start planning. I mean, I like to write in events neatly, and I'm going to try to keep that side neat, but my notes will get real messy. Okay. Also, if you try to write with like a felt tip, like a Stadler, it takes quite a while to dry. Don't do that. It was just the first pen I had around when I needed to write that on there. And yeah, it takes quite a while to dry time. So the thinner the pen, the better, and not felt tip. What I'm going to try to use this for is at the beginning of each week, I'm not going to plan ahead really in this planner, pre-plan. Right now, I use my ERIN CONDREN for that. If you follow me, you know that. I use an ERIN CONDREN vertical, and I have videos on that. And I pre-plan everything ahead in that weekly. And then I use Inkwell Press daily for my daily list when I'm at home and I have a lot to get done that day, her undated daily. So this is going to be something I can take with me. But I also put big appointments in my phone, so I don't necessarily always have to have this with me. But this is just kind of if I am running errands for a day, or I want to have a notes notebook, this is helping me keep track. But it's also going to lay open on my desk like this, which is what it has been doing, which is why it's staying open so well, because I've already kind of like massaged it and got it to stay open on this page. I'm going to go through my week, and I'm going to write only major errands that I have to do or appointments for these days. So it can stand out to me like what time rule thing do I have going on that day, if I have anything. We're still on Christmas break right now from school, so my days are looking quite different than normal. And then I will have weekly to-dos here. And I just think having it in this little teeny place, like taking it off my big ERIN CONDREN page, which gets to be looking really busy and really messy, like by midweek, usually, taking it off that big page and trying not to write as much in here. So just having the basics, like here are our big appointments or go-tos for next week when we start back to school. And then I will be filling in more to-dos as it comes up. But right now, all I have are my big appointments or to-dos in here, things I'm not sure about. I like to use little sticky notes if I think it's something that could change. So appointments and to-dos. And having this out, I can just quickly glance at it or have it right next to me with my daily, because my weekly pretty much just stays open on my desk all the time. But I can transfer my weekly in here and have it just look a little bit neater and probably, hopefully, a little bit more under control, and keep my to-dos and appointments important, like scale it down to what do I need to see right in front of me. So I'm going to see how this works to me adding this in. It's not going to be taking anything away from my planning. I'm still going to use my weekly that stays on my desk all the time open. If you want to know how I plan, I do have videos on that of how I'm planning right now. I have a recent one that I think I did in the beginning of December, and I try to do those kind of on an every other month basis or something, so you guys can know how I'm planning at the time. But I won't be taking any planners away. This will be adding in. So I will still use my weekly laid open on my desk. I will still use my daily inkwell press for just like lining out my busy day, but I will go off of this too. And I think it could be a really good addition. We shall see. But either way, it didn't cost that much, and I really like it. I want to give it a try. And I found that these hair bands, you know, the ones that you buy so they don't leave marks in your hair, these type at Target, sorry, excuse me, fit really well. So if I want to throw this in my purse, I just can throw a hairband on it like that. And then when I take the hairband off, if I'm writing in it, I just put on my hand so I don't lose it. And then I can just put it right back on. I also use these hairbands for my inkwell press journals. So that works really well. If you can't find them at Target or you're not near a Target, they have them on Amazon too. Goody is one of the brands that sells them, I know. And there's probably a billion other brands too. But anyway, that's a way to keep it shut, because when I force it open on my desk, it kind of always opens that much then, because I've like forced it to stay open a lot on my desk. All right, guys, thanks for following along, and let me know if you use the Hobonichi weeks, and let me know what you use it for, because I know people use it for all different things. My sister was going to get a Hobonichi weeks, and she thought about using it for just a daily gratitude, or maybe how she sees the Lord's hand, you know, in her life each day. The things that we sometimes don't notice if we're not looking for them and to record them. And then maybe like a weekly overview, kind of like a spiritual thing of like how you're noticing the Lord's hand in your life, and gratitudes. And so she's going to use it for like a gratitude spiritual type of journal like that. And I can't wait to hear how hers goes with that. I just do something else for my spiritual journal, but I really like that idea. But right now I'm recording gratitudes and spiritual things in other places. But I like her idea a lot, because then you have the entire year in this tiny little book that you can keep forever, keep it archived, and to look back on all your gratitudes and blessings. Okay, so there's many things you can use it for, and I'd love to hear what you use it for if you use the weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy planning, and I'll see you next time.